Welcome everybody to the ASC Weekly, ASCW number 24. Here we are in the finals. Solid in control, winning the first game, spawning as the Terran versus Mystic, RSVP Killer, spawning as the Zerg. I'm Tumba, co-casting with me this evening, the wonderfully handsome and brilliant Dark and Light. Darken, you said you want to see him not go so all in this particular matchup.
Yeah, I would like to see him switch it up.
Yeah.
Because we know that he's very good at those, but against a player probably not at RSVP's caliber, he may be able to stand up against this Terran player in a macro game.
Right.
So that would probably be the smarter thing to do and not make it so obvious his play, since this is what he's been doing for several games now, by the look of it.
Obviously, I think what you said stands, and it's the fact that I think the adrenaline got going. He felt he could win outright. He did so much damage, but didn't properly prepare really for the counter. Morphed the Banelings too far away from the natural. Poor choice there. Made some key critical errors and let the Terran back in the game. And, of course, very difficult to deal with Terran when they're in your base with Marines and you have no units to deal with it, no Banelings.
Especially when they get between the production, you need your force to be together, not all separated, because then it won't do nearly as much damage. That's the case for every race. If you don't have all your force together and it's all separated coming in waves, it won't do nearly as much damage if it were in a ball, if it were together. Yeah,
right now the game sort of serves as a death ball type standard, if you will. Well, it'll be interesting to see if there's any variations of that. I know Terran tried it. Pockets
of drops and all that, it's viable. It's viable to split your army to flank, but not really when you have such small amounts of units. When you have a small army, you just want to stick with as big of an army as you can get.
Right, you need the DPS, and also you need the protection. Interested to see how the Terran's going to open up with this time, knowing that Mystic may go Baneling bust.
Yeah, he may make a stronger wall. That's always an option. He may expand later or try to do some Hellion play. Looks like he is dropping it early faster, so that may be what he's doing. Or some Banshees, maybe. He's not getting a second gas yet, so that may be unlikely.
I used to think Thor was a great unit versus Zerg, but really weak against Mutalisk, I think.
Yeah, especially now that Zergs have figured out how to magic box. Pretty much every Zerg knows how to do that these days. You just hold position as you're approaching it and don't clump up by targeting the unit. And yeah, I feel like it could use a change in the way it attacks, so that maybe it takes meters down to half health with one hit, like 4 meters at once.
Maybe a buff to Thor?
Yeah, that's what I'm suggesting. I think it would be better.
Yeah.
Terran's often struggling with the Mutaling play.
Yeah.
Even in the higher levels.
Well, as a Protoss, I'd like to say that I disagree with that. Buff to Thor idea. I'd rather just see them nerf the Muta.
It would mostly just be the anti-air, but yeah, good point.
Now, putting that factory down, tech switch, putting the reactor on the factory, we are going to see Hellions coming out.
Yep, reactor Hellion, very strong opening, especially against Ling aggression, because obviously Hellion beats Ling just as Rock beats Scissors.
Yep.
He seems to only be wanting to get out to there, though, just to deny this aggression a little bit, doesn't want to commit to it.
Researching stim now.
Yep, very early stim timing. He's getting his expansion up, too. Looks like Mystic will be playing more defensively, dropping a couple one Spine Crawler and a Evolution Chamber to block off the Hellions a little bit. They do sneak into the main, though.
Yes, they do.
See if they can do anything. He's targeting the spawning pool, not the best thing to target the Hellions.
No. You definitely want to try to... Gotta fry as many drones as possible to make it worth the while. Queens...
Did not kill a single drone there. A couple Lings, but that does not pay for the Hellions in the slightest. He did probably deter his opponent from doing any kind of early Ling aggression, though, which should help him.
Yeah, now switching to tank production.
Yes.
And he's going to be pumping out some Marines here.
It looks like he'll be going with an early timing and an expansion. Always good. 3-3 tank, about 16 Marine timing. Pretty strong against Zerg, just to keep them on their toes, not droning too heavily.
I like the Ling placement. Gonna deny the landing of the command center.
Yep, always annoying for Terrans. Another issue with the lore, why can't a command center land
crush.
on Zerglings?
Yeah, good question. I guess it's the Geneva Convention of StarCraft.
I guess so.
Obeying the Geneva Convention, not allowed to squash the Lings.
You can kill them with gunfire and tanks, though.
Yes, that is appropriate. That is fair play.
Yes, indeed. He does look to be going for that timing while he sets up his expansion.
Good Overlord placement.
With 3 tanks, very, very strong move.
Yep, I like the OV placement here. On the 3rd. Just wants to keep an eye on what the Terran's doing, when he's going to expand.
Yeah, it's
he's bringing SCVs. Bringing SCVs to repair, I believe.
I want to see Terrans doing this more, where they just bring a few SCVs to repair the tanks.
Why not?
And maybe build some missile turrets when they're slow pushing.
It's like
you have to deal with mutas attacking the tanks. Why not add some missile turrets to it?
Sure, it's the ground base medevac,
yep.
Essentially, in terms of repairing.
Yeah, that was used a lot more often in TVT and Brood War. That kind of thing where if you slow push, you'd build a lot of missile turrets, that type of thing. This push should do a lot of damage.
Yeah. Right now. Spinecrawler going down very quickly. Into the mineral line now. Of the natural.
Without siege bones, this is an interesting play.
Yeah, Big Stim goes down. Is able to clean up all of those drones.
Doing a lot of damage to the drones. This was a pretty effective push. He got his natural fairly well saturated. Good damage.
Yeah, it looks like an agonizing way to go when a Baneling detonates.
Yeah.
Arms flailing, guns waving around. You're sort of disintegrating in front of your own eyes.
I have to ask, what does a Baneling prefer, exploding on things or just dying before it hits anything?
That's a good question.
I wonder what's more painful for the Baneling.
I believe they are like kamikaze endorphin filled.
Want to commit suicide the right way, not the wrong way.
That's right. Unlike Moon.
Yep.
Obviously, an earlier reference to We Made Moon and his inability to go ahead and.
He is getting better at it, though. He's hit a couple times, I think. Maybe once or twice. He does very much enjoy using those Banelings, Baneling drops, Baneling landmines, all of it. Used to, I believe it was July, might have been Moon, we used it to high effect against Thorazane and DreamHack.
Now we see another push coming, Siege about to finish. Of course,
much effective with Siege mode.
Absolutely.
Tanks useless against Zerg.
It is, right, it is situational. However, in this situation, Siege is the way to go.
Nice split.
Unfortunately, does lose the tank.
He does lose the tank. A lot of Lings came in to clean that up.
However,
we'll have 3 Mins alive though.
Yep.
Should be able to keep the aggression for a little longer before it does get cleaned up. It's just good to do this to force a lot of units out of the Zerg, keep him on 2 base, keep him guessing.
Yeah, it forces the units, and it also goes ahead and pins him back into his own territory, allowing you to obviously feel a little bit safer and feel like you have control of the situation. I'm a big fan. In StarCraft, I love being the aggressor, and it's something that I've had to learn that you can't always do, though. I play it much like I play poker, very aggressive style. But in StarCraft, there are times where you just want to sit back and let your opponent attack into you, absorb, and respond.
It's very situational when you want to be aggressive, but these timings, just keeping it up, I like it.
Yeah, for sure. The Terran is doing what he needs to do at this point, scanning ahead, looking for any Baneling landmines.
He's killing Banelings before they spawn too. These Zerg is reacting a little late to these pushes. He's not spawning them in time.
Yeah, he probably should have spawned those right away in anticipation of another attack. And here we go into the main.
He's not sieging it. I question that a little bit. He might try to siege on the. He's not sieging at all.
No, very late siege. Very late siege. I don't understand what's going on there either. But he's going ahead and now doing enough damage with these Marines on their own.
Yeah, these Marines are doing tons of damage, killing almost all the drones.
Absolutely. He is down to 15 drones. 15 drones versus 44 SCVs.
Yeah, that is not good for the Zerg player in the slightest. He only has a few minutes, a few Lings. He's in big trouble right now. Another push should be cleaning him up here soon.
And here comes that other push you speak of, doing his best, going ahead and take an expansion at the gold without even destroying the destructible rocks, knowing he's in big trouble. The Terran doesn't even care. He's just going to push right past it and right in, actually canceling the gold expansion at this point.
Now, I question the timing of this push a little bit. I feel like he should have macroed up a little bit, made it more of an overwhelming force, because if he keeps this up, he keeps these small aggression timings, it may not work. And now he just uses that.
When he breaks them.
He does. Baneling's late once again. That's an issue Mystic seems to be having.
Yeah, we saw it in Game 1 too.
Yep.
Just not able to respond to the counterattack of those Marines.
Yep.